As we all know, camping and outdoor gear is not cheap. But what if we could combine 3 items into one? Well, maybe we can. This is the North Face One Bag. It claims to be multiple sleeping bags in one, with temperatures that go all the way down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. First off, let's talk about sleeping bags and why you'd need multiple. Well, because temperatures change, right? You need one for summer, you need one for spring and fall, you need one for winter, and this one claims to be a 3-season bag. Now, depending on what you mean by 3 seasons, I would say that's about right. And the way it works is you have multiple tops, right? You have one made of down and one made of synthetic filling, and then you have an interchangeable bottom part of the bag, which has a little bit of synthetic filling, but it's not super thick. But as we know, most of your insulation below you, actually pretty much all of your insulation below you, comes from your sleeping pad anyway, because it's going to be compressed and not really make much of a difference in that regard. But it has interchangeable zippers here, which are glow in the dark, by the way, nice touch, and they zip completely off. I'll do a demonstration of that in just a second. And what you do is, with your thin underside, you put either the synthetic top, the down top, or both. And of course, the more you put on there, the warmer it's going to be. I use this every time I go backpacking, camping, right? This is my sleeping bag. I got it a few years ago because I wanted to try it out, right? Because sleeping bags are not cheap, and if I can get multiple in one, I'm going to do it. Currently, this one retails for $390, which, you know, it's not the cheapest sleeping bag out there, right? But is it cheaper than 3 bags? I mean, it depends, maybe. Me personally, I feel that in the summer, I still get hot in this bag, right? These comfort ratings are pretty accurate for me, at least, and these are for men generally rated here. So 40 degrees is your highest temperature it's rated for, and that's just with the synthetic one. So that's the blue top with no down. I get hot in the summer in that, very hot, because, well, at least in the south here, it most of the time doesn't get anywhere near 40 degrees at night. You know, it might get down to the mid 50s, but you know, I have to take legs and stuff out. You know, I just kind of loosely cover up with it. So in that regard, you might need a liner or something for the summer, but for winter, spring, and fall, perfect, right? So here's the hood. It's very nice, very warm. It's got a nice thick pad here. And this covers you up as well. So I mean, you can completely cover yourself, which is very nice here. These are the glow-in-the-dark zippers I was talking about, and this is the, they cover these up right here. This Velcro's on, and it's very nice. This is, again, the mid configuration. So as you can see, this is where the yellow one attaches, which is the down cover, and this is where the synthetic one goes. They can both be attached at the same time, which I'm going to demonstrate here in a minute, but of course you can also just take the yellow one off and only put the thin synthetic one on. So let me show you how this goes if you want to take it off. You have 2 zippers on this thing. This one right here, see, it's rounded on both sides here, so this is the one that takes the bag on and off, and this one right here is the one that zips it up for yourself. So we'll unzip it all the way. Yeah, like I said, it has a problem with the zippers getting stuck. Very annoying. So now we're here at the end, and as you can see, these right here look like they clip on very well, very easily. We go up all the way to the top, and you can kind of slide it out. This is kind of finicky, at least it always has been for me. But there you go. It's a little finicky, but it comes off, and now you're left with 2 separate pieces. So this right here is the underlayer. As you can see, the hood is actually attached to your bottom, and it gets really thin near the toes, and there's nothing here. This is not much padding, like you can't use this as a sleeping pad on its own, but as you can see over here, the tops themselves are actually quite large, and they do wrap around the bottom because they have to. Look how small that is right there, right? So they are quite warm all around. And right here, as you can see on the bag, it actually has how it's supposed to be structured for each of the temperature ratings here, in case you forget. This is on the outside here. So you have both of them, your down layer, your synthetic layer. So again, you have your 2 different zippers here. So the blue, and they are color coded, which is very nice. Blue one goes in that all the way up to where they're about level in the zipper there. Then you take your glow-in-the-dark zipper and you zip. And there you go. See, it's much thinner than the yellow one, but it all looks the same, just in blue now. So this is with all of them on. As you can see, it's quite thick. It is very, very warm with this configuration on. Generally, this one is all I need. It's rated down to 20 degrees and it's still very, very warm. This is the down one, right? It's yellow. Mine says it has 800 fill power down, right? But if you look on their website currently, it says 700 fill power. So I don't know if they've changed that. I don't know if maybe, I don't know. But either way, this one's 800, the new one's 700, and that's still pretty darn warm. And again, if you need more insulation, you put the synthetic one over it and it gets really thick. In terms of weight, it's hovering right around 1,750 grams or like 4 pounds. It just depends on, again, what you have on there, which layers, if you have it stuffed in a sack and stuff. So we're gonna say roughly 4 pounds to kind of gauge it. It packs down fairly well. I'll show you it packed up here in just a second. It's not the smallest, but again, it's super warm. Now, in its summer configuration, it's very compact compared to the winter one. I mean, look, this is the synthetic one, right? It is super thin. That's it, right? It's very, very thin. It has zipper covers that are Velcro, which is very nice. They go right over and they prevent them from messing when you sleep. The zippers do have a tendency to get caught, I've found, when I zip them, just because they're zippers and it's a sleeping bag. You know, like this stuff folds. I get them caught at least once or twice every time I zip up. Very frustrating, but I don't necessarily know if that's solvable. Every sleeping bag I've had has done something like that. On our recent hike on the channel to Blood Mountain, I brought this bag as my bag in the middle configuration, so just the down layer without the synthetic top. I was planning on sleeping in that, but since it was supposed to get pretty cold, I did switch bags with my wife Maria, who had just an older, cheaper synthetic bag that I used to use before I got this one. Now, I think it got down to around 40. I was comfortable, I would have been comfortable in that, but she said she got cold. Now keep in mind, she is very cold natured, and of course sleeping bags do have different ratings for men and women. I think this one's gonna keep you pretty much as warm as you need to, unless you're going really crazy extreme temperatures. If you're going sub-zero temperatures routinely, I mean, you're gonna want a specialized bag anyway, but I think for the average camper or hiker, this bag really does do it all. So you're gonna have to look at that $390 price tag retail. I mean, you of course can find it on sale, right? I don't think that's how much I got this one 4 years ago. I mean, it was actually a gift, but I'm pretty sure it was not that price when I got it all those years ago. But either way, you just gotta look at that, right? If you can stomach sticking your legs out and kind of not being zipped up in the summer and without getting hot, or if you're generally cold natured and you're not worried about that in the summer, then this is a great deal to get 3 bags in one. It really is 3 bags in one. I think it's great. It is heavier than some other bags. Some people have mixed opinions about it, but I like this bag. I think it's a great bag. I think it's a great deal. I've never been cold in it, and what I love about it is this one bag. If I really wanted to, if I didn't know what the temperatures were going to be, I could bring it in its full configuration and adjust it right before I go to sleep or during the night. Like I could start, all the way, or I could start with some and then I could adjust it based on the temperature, right? So yeah, personally, I think if you're not doing anything crazy temperature-wise and you want an all-around bag that can do most every hike or camp that you're gonna do throughout the year, I think it's a great deal. I think it's a great bag. If anyone else out there has this bag, if you like it, if you don't like it, let me know, because I'm the only one that I know that has this. I know some people online have talked about it, but I want to hear more opinions on the good, the bad of it. I love it. I think it's great. It's very versatile, and that's one thing I love, is I love gear that is adjustable and it has dynamic range in terms of its functionality. So it comes with a stuff sack also, by the way. I don't know how much the stuff sack weighs, but it's not the lightest. It's got some buckles on it, but I generally put it in there anyway. It packs pretty tight. And I'm gonna show you how the stuff sack works. So, just normal stuff sack, it's got like felt line on the inside, so it's kind of weirdly soft, I guess, to not damage the down. So it's in the sack, and then you have your cinch straps. So this goes over the top, your zipper, or your clip-on, and you cinch it down on all sides. That's it. In the summer configuration, it's very small, very packable. It gets quite larger when you put the other ones on. Hey, Cleo. Here's the stuff sack with it in its thickest configuration. I mean, you can pull it down a little more, but it's quite a bit bigger than the summer config. And it's quite a bit heavier too. I mean, this is the 4 pounds you're talking about right here. This is a lot of bulk, a lot of weight, but it's a lot of warmth too. And this is with just the down layer, so this is the mid-weight. It's not a ton lighter than with the synthetic layer, because that one doesn't weigh very much. It is a little smaller though, but there's not a big difference in between the larger one and the middle one. But this is the one I probably use the most. I've never been cold in it. And down here in the south it doesn't get that much colder, but if it is gonna go in the 20s or so, I'll probably bring the blue in just to have a little extra warmth. And again, you can always take it off because it's versatile, right? And it also comes with a mesh bag, which is super nice, so that way you can store your sleeping bag in there and it won't compress, you know, for the longevity and the long life of the bag. It's always good to store them uncompressed. I store mine under beds, kind of all the way out anyway, but this is a good option as well if you need to put it in a closet or hang it somewhere. I just wanted to talk about this bag. We got a cool adventure coming up this weekend. It'll be out next week. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.